Hey there, welcome to Let's Make a Health Connection. In this podcast, we introduce, interview, and showcase the many healthcare providers and resources that we feature on our website, localhealthconnect.com. I'm Jennifer Barber, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker in Washington and Oregon, and I'm happy to be part of the Local Health Connect provider community. Kendall Hagensen is joining us today, and she owns Vancouver Wellness Studio in downtown Vancouver. Welcome, Kendall.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here with us today and telling us all about it.
Thanks so much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about Vancouver Wellness Studio and what you all have to offer over there. I guess before we start, I knew you when the studio was just coming. It was a tiny baby studio. And
yes.
In the number of years, which hasn't been all that much, y'all have grown.
Yes.
Yeah, impressive. Tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you. Yes, you and I, we've known each other for quite a few years at this point, and we knew each other before when the studio was just a vision, just an idea. And you've been so supportive to us along the way. So I'm always so grateful to you.
Very easy to support you, Kendall.
So Vancouver Wellness Studio. So we opened in 2016, in the fall of 2016, and we specialize, what we really do is collaborative healthcare. Collaborative whole person healthcare. And what that means is that we view every client and patient that comes through the door as a whole person. And we approach their care that way, and we collaborate with them on their treatment goals, and we collaborate as a healthcare team on their behalf so that they don't have to continue to relay their updates and health history and stories, back and forth to each provider with their permission, of course. And the foundation of that really comes from my own health, illness and health journey, which I've shared quite a bit about over the years in various formats. But the goal for us is that we really want patients to have a different experience in healthcare, and one that feels very cohesive and connected. And we see a lot of patients who have chronic illnesses, and so we want them to feel fully supported. And we know how exhausting it is to keep relaying that story, as it is a lifelong experience with chronic illnesses. So that's a bit about what we're doing, and we have multidisciplinary services. So
tell us a little bit about that. And also, before we're done, if you don't mind, I would like to dive into just a little bit about your own story. But before we do that, if you could kind of tell us a little bit about, who do you have? What kind of disciplines are there? And then we'll talk a little more about how you do that collaboration piece.
Sure. So we have mental health services. So we have several mental health providers on our team, and we do specialize in EMDR therapy, somatic therapy, trauma therapy. We do counseling and, of course, EMDR and lens neurofeedback. So multiple kind of mental health approaches. We have naturopathic medicine here, and that comes with a variety of things that sort of come under that naturopathic umbrella. We have Chinese medicine and acupuncture. We have massage therapy. We have nutrition services. We have health coaching, which is a newer service for us. In the past 6 months, we've added health coaching. We have movement. We have a movement studio here. So over the years, we have provided a variety of movement type classes. Right now we have dance and yoga offerings, and fitness. We have a fitness trainer on our team as well. Yeah.
So you've got a lot of people in this space doing a lot of different things. And if you could walk us through kind of like what your vision has been and how it has carried through, for that collaboration. So let's just say somebody's coming in, somebody who's listening, may have these questions. Somebody who's coming in, they might want to have all of their care in this one place, and they want to see a mental health therapist, and maybe they want to see this naturopath doctor, and maybe they want to get some acupuncture. How does that work to come to your space and have all of this offered?
Absolutely. So there's a few different ways of working with us, or getting started, I should say. So we do have patients who will start with one provider. So they'll come in and say they're starting with the doctor. And then, through the treatment goals, they'll realize that, probably mental health counseling would be supportive, as well as massage or whatever it is, to help them reach their goals faster and feel better faster. And so that's one way that we do that. And then the other way of getting started, we do have something called our holistic care plan. And that is really for patients who they know they want support, they know they want that multidisciplinary support, or they're just not really sure where to begin in the process, but they know, they have symptoms that haven't been able to be explained, or they haven't really been able to feel better, in working in conventional medicine. And so, but they're not sure, do they start with mental health, or do they start with acupuncture? Do they, because a lot of our services can treat the same symptoms in different ways. So we have something called a holistic care plan, and it's essentially a comprehensive intake form and intake process. So you fill that out, fill out the holistic care plan intake, and then our team actually reviews it. With their permission, we review it as an entire team, and we make our recommendation of who, based on their health history and goals, which kind of combination of providers and services we think would help them reach their goals the fastest. And then we make that recommendation to them, and they get started. And we have typically like a primary provider who's in charge of really coordinating their case and keeping all the communication going. And then we continuously collaborate and coordinate their care.
Great. Now, this also might be kind of a no-brainer, but somebody might have this question. When the collaboration takes place, is the patient or client there during that process?
Typically not. And that's a great question, actually. And we do get that question. So typically when our team is reviewing the holistic care plan, the patient's not present. And then oftentimes we don't typically have more than one provider or service going on at the same time.
Gotcha.
So, but oftentimes someone will come, let's say, for their mental health counseling appointment, and then finish that and head on down the hall and get their massage. So we do try to coordinate that if that's something patients are interested in, sort of, doing multiple services in the same day.
This might be a really good time to dive into a little bit about your own personal story. And I know how closely that is attached to, how you've kind of made this dream come alive for Vancouver Wellness. Can you tell us a little bit about your own story?
Absolutely. So, yes, it is very tied to VWS. It's why we exist, and why we existed originally. And now that why has expanded over the years, of course. But so to sort of break it down in a somewhat short story, I have MS, multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed when I was 20 years old and started having symptoms in college as an undergrad. And I have a close family member with MS as well. So I was I was aware of the symptoms, and I was pretty certain when those started happening for me that that's what was going on. So essentially, I was a young adult, and I was in college, and I was trying to figure out the symptoms and what to do. And I sought out Western medicine, and I always say this, and I believe it. That's why I always say it. I am so grateful to Western medicine. I still utilize Western medicine, and um, I have had some amazing neurologists in my corner over the years, and Western medicine has been there for me in multiple emergencies, and I'm so grateful that it exists. And what I found out and realized very clearly at that time is that Western medicine was not built for preventative care or for chronic illness.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very disjointed experience. And one huge gap in that experience was mental health. So going through the whole diagnosis process and dealing with all the symptoms, not once was mental health even considered by my providers.
Wow.
So and at that point, I was already on the path to becoming a therapist. I had had that interest, prior to going to college. So I was on that path, and it was just very clear to me that it was missing. And so I started seeking out alternative care, and I started to build this care team around myself. And I, acupuncture, doing massages, doing all these different things. And it was wonderful. And I received great care. And I also realized that they were not communicating with each other. Even though I was receiving great care, they still were not coordinating my care. So I started to envision a place where people could come and receive truly collaborative, cohesive care.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the original vision of VWS. And that was, around 2008 when I started to picture this place. And so when I went to graduate school, I had that vision in mind. And so everything I did in graduate school, every paper I wrote, every internship or practicum was really focused on holistic health, wellness centers, integrative medicine, alternative medicine, and came out of graduate school having an even clearer vision for this place. So I have two kids, I have two little girls, and when our older daughter was 1, I decided to move forward and give it a go with the vision, and here we are.
And here we are. So cool. That path is incredible. And because you were going to school to be a mental health clinician, you realized how important that was. And yeah, it was just amazing to hear that story. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
So curious about what is next for VWS. Do you have anything going on?
Yeah, we got a couple things going on. So as you mentioned earlier, we have grown a lot, and we continue to grow not only our team but our services. We've been doing a lot more over the past couple of years. We've really expanded into corporate wellness and supporting a lot of our local businesses here. And then in the fall, we are going to be opening a waterfront location, and it will be a spa. And the way we envision it is will be sort of like an alternative medicine spa. So it will have sort of still a medical feel to it and a healthcare feel to it. And it will be focused on restoration and rejuvenation. It won't have, our Franklin location. We will still be here and still very focused on healthcare. The waterfront location will be more of a spa, and it is connected to the new AC Marriott hotel that is opening very soon at the waterfront. And so we will be the tenant there on the ground floor, and we will be collaborating quite a bit with the hotel. So hotel guests will be able to book services when they book their room, and put services on a room charge and things like that. So we will be really collaborating with their team there at the hotel. And then we'll also be serving the community members, so in the businesses down at the waterfront.
Great. And you said the hotel opens this summer or in the fall?
Yeah, the hotel is opening in June, actually.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So very soon, and then we will open in the fall. The spa.
Great, great.
Hmm.
And is there going to be a new name for you down there on the waterfront?
So it will be the same name. So
Okay.
we'll still be Vancouver Wellness Studio, and we'll be adding some location markers. So it'll be called Vancouver Wellness Studio Waterfront Spa, and then we'll have our Franklin Street healthcare location. So
Great.
we'll be keeping it. It's the same business. We're working on a brand refresh right now, so that'll be coming around the corner as well.
Great. So, can you tell people where they might be able to find you at the Franklin location? What's close by?
Yeah, we're right by Esther Short Park, actually.
Great.
So we're on the corner of 8th and Franklin Street. In the area of the courthouse, downtown Vancouver, around
Hmm.
there. And we provide services 7 days a week here, and we have early appointments, late appointments, day appointments, weekend appointments. So our providers, we have some flexibility that way,
Great.
and yeah.
That is awesome. Being available. So great. Anything else coming up you'd like to share? Or is there anything, gosh, that you might like other people to know who might be listening to this, thinking that you sound like a pretty great place?
I think the biggest thing is that our team is continuing to grow, and we're really prioritizing making sure that we do have availability for clients, because during COVID, particularly, especially with mental health, but with the other services as well, there's been just a high need, not only at our clinic but everywhere, and so we've been really prioritizing continuing to make space and open schedules. And so just for the community to know that we do have openings, and we have some new providers that have joined our team recently, and they are ready to work with you. So come on in.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kendall, for meeting with us today. I know that you've got a profile. Vancouver Wellness Studio has a profile on localhealthconnect.com. Where else can people
Yes.
find you in the virtual world?
Yeah, you can go to our website, vancouverwellnessstudio.com. That's also the place where you'll find updates about the spa and job openings about the spa, because we will be hiring for that location. And then on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Vancouver Wellness.
Great. Thank you so much, Kendall. You have a great day today.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks again for listening to Let's Make a Health Connection. Find us online at localhealthconnect.com, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links and show notes for this interview are available on our podcast page. These interviews are really fun, and I hope you made a health connection today. We'll talk again next time.
Let's Make a Health Connection, copyright 2022, all rights reserved, is the exclusive property of MBS Therapy, LLC, a Washington-based company. Local Health Connect is inclusive and does not endorse any political or religious group. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time on localhealthconnect.com.